Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zillner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. The seeds bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Page 101 and 102. Final session of the day. I'm going to bring up Dr. Stella Emanuel with me here on the stage. Dr. Stella. I'm also going to bring up, if we can, Jen, you're back there. I'm going to bring Jen up here. Jen with Beloved Cheesecakes. And we'll get some estrogen up in here. Some estrogen up in here. So we're going to get Dr. Stella up here. We're going to get Jen with Beloved. I'm going to have you on one of those mics over there. I'll get Dr. Stella on one of these mics over here. And this is a business conference. And what we're trying to do is to teach you how to start and grow a successful company. If you're tuning in online right now, you're tuning in, you're going, what is this? This is a how to grow a successful business conference, okay? And so what I'm going to do real quick here is Barrett, I'm going to have you kind of get everybody into a seat here as we approach our final session. And if people aren't mad at you, you're not doing it right. And then Darren Conrad, I'm going to get you up here on the stage real quick here. To balance out, we got a lot of estrogen up in here, and we need to have a little more testosterone to balance it out here. So we're doing that here. Okay, and then I'm going to have you, Darren, come on up here. I'm going to have you write business, really big, the word business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S, business. And then I'm going to have you write busyness. So business, B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S, and then busyness, B-U-S-Y-N-E-S-S. So let me write busyness next to it. Busyness. So right, yeah, busyness. Okay. And then I'm going to have you hop on a mic too, okay? So we're going to work through it. Awesome. Thank you, brother. So I'm going to get you on this mic right here. All right. Okay. So how many of you know who Dr. Stella is? If you're online watching right now, I encourage you to leave some comments. Say, hey, I know who Dr. Stella is. She's a great lady. This is Dr. Stella. Her website is drstellamd.com, drstellamd.com. This is Jen with Beloved Cheesecakes. That's her business. That's her story, belovedcheesecakes.com. Check it out, belovedcheesecakes.com. And this over here is Darren Conrad. He's the mattress king. Nobody sells more mattresses than Darren Conrad. Have you ever driven into a community and you say, wow, somebody is passionate about selling mattresses? It could be Darren Conrad and his team of mattress selling gurus. He's been doing this for a long, long time. He's America's mattress selling expert. So the word busyness, and the word business. And Jackie, if you can help everyone find a seat, that'd be great. Jackie, if you can help everyone find a seat. Baron, and if you're not getting irritating people, you're not doing it right, okay? So we're just finding tough seats, okay. So busyness, I encourage you to write this down somewhere in the back of your book. Busyness means you're always going 90 miles an hour. You're going, I'm going. That's you, okay? But you don't know why you're always busy. Can you circle the why in busyness? Okay, busyness. You're, gotta go, gotta post on social media, gotta post on TikTok, gotta go, gotta email, gotta text. Who knows these people? Gotta go, gotta email, gotta text, gotta update my status, gotta go on LinkedIn, gotta update it right now. Instagram, gotta go log on, gotta go to the next conference, went to that conference, going to another conference, gotta get back from that conference, gotta get caught up. Busyness. Pew, pew, pew. There's prophetic junkies that go from conference to conference seeking a prophetic word. So busy they never read the word. Who knows what I'm talking about? Come on. Chasing a word, so I never read the word. Now that you've got 407 prophetic words, have you ever read the word? I will. Now, there's other people that, again, we can take anything to an extreme, but you get the idea. There's great prophetic words, but busyness is where you're so busy and you don't know why. Now, business, circle the I in the word business. That's where I know what I'm doing. Like, I know that I'm doing what God's called me to do right now. Does that make sense? So we're here today. I am mentally and physically present with you. Some of you online have told me, you say, Clay, I've watched your show for years before the Reawaken tour. People email me, they send me letters, they say, I've watched your show for years before the Reawaken tour, and I've never bought anything from you. I go, well, one way to solve that guilt is to send me copious amounts of money, but I do it because I believe we're helping somebody. I like to help people. It's a win-win, it's a shalom. If somebody comes to this conference and they buy a book or they don't, I'm not gonna beat you up. I'm not gonna say, if you don't buy a book, you're an idiot. If you don't sign up, you're a moron. I don't do that. Who's ever been to a conference like that where they just attack you for the whole time? I don't do that. Well, I'm saying I know that if we connect with you about your candles, you're the candle person, right? Candle person. Who sells candles? Who's candle person? Maybe we'll never meet again, but maybe I'll just buy the candles and my wife will be wowed, and maybe that was great. And maybe you go, the pale guy, he wore me out. I didn't like him very much. That's okay. But I know that I'm supposed to be here or I wouldn't be here. Are we on the same page? But busyness is where you don't know what you're all about, okay? So I want you to open up your book here, okay? Open your book, orange covered book. We're opening it up here to page number 101. And I'm gonna go through the list of things you need to have. And I'm gonna be purposeful and intentional, maybe slow it down a notch, because these are things we have to do, and they might not be the most exciting. So number one, Jen, we have to build an inbound sales script. If we're gonna create time freedom, you're shipping so many cheesecakes now. Why do you have to build scripts and write down your recipes?
So they are repeatable, and so I can build financial freedom and time freedom in my future.
And is it fun making your recipes or writing your scripts? Is that awesome?
No.
Who likes that kind of thing? I'm just being honest with you guys. I like copious amounts of solitude. I like, those people that say, I went on like a quiet retreat, so I didn't talk to someone for 8 consecutive days. I don't know that I do that, but I really, really value my thinking time. I really value that. Anybody else like that? You value that? Okay, so there's 2 parts of business. There's inhale, there's exhale, right? Inhale, exhale, right? So it's not a yoga class, okay? Don't do that. I'm saying there's a part you have to consume information, right? You learn. And there's parts you have to earn. Are we on the same page? You learn, and then you earn. You learn, you're taking in all this information, then you gotta earn. Dr. Stella to my left is the #1 prescriber, I believe, of ivermectin in the world. Is this right? All right. So when COVID happened, Dr. Stella, you can look up Dr. Stella Emanuel on Google, you'll see this. She was attacked by the mainstream media as being the #1 prescriber of effective COVID treatments, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. Why did you have to sit down and get out of the chaos and the fear and the news and think about an effective treatment for this virus known as COVID-19?
In 2020, in fact, the reason why we went viral was because I knew that COVID was treatable and people were dying and I could not handle it. Every time I would hear or see videos of people that I just could not handle it. So when we were going to the steps of the Supreme Court to scream to the world, I left home and I told my family, gathered my family, I told them, as I'm going to DC, I don't think I'm going to make it back because things were really crazy. But if that is the hill that I die on, then that's the hill that I die on. I was willing to perish. I say, if I perish, I perish. So by the time I got there, I just went like bold, wild, and crazy because I was not afraid to die. The Bible says that, you overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony if you love not your life unto death. I was at that point where I was like, if they take me out, they take me out. I'm just not going to sit back knowing that people don't need to die and allow people die. That's number one. Number two, of course, when I went viral, the whole world came after me. The medical industrial complex, big pharma, media, they attacked me like crazy. And that was very interesting because I was like, y'all don't know me like that. I don't care what you say about me. I'm very intentional about what I do. So while they were out there, CNN was attacking me and making me more and more famous, we hunkered down and did what we needed to do for the American people. We set together a telemedicine service, and guess what? We actually built it from scratch so nobody could take it down. We set together a telemedicine service. My assistant is there, Dr. Rudo. She worked with me throughout. We set this telemedicine service, and we took care of the American people. In the advent of 2021, when we had Delta, we were seeing at any time T, we had 2,000 patients waiting to see us. And we were working round the clock. We were barely sleeping. I didn't have time to watch CNN to find out what they were saying about me because people were dying, people were crying, people were calling me, people were coming out of the ER and running to our clinic to get treated. So we basically set up a system, and I became extremely successful because I was willing to take the risk to take care of people. The third thing that we did is that we set up supplements to help people cope with the disease. In fact, our table is out there. We actually, because right now for the past 5 years, a lot of people have been, either you got the vaccine or you got the virus or you got shedded upon. But at the end of the day, many people, our immune system is messed up. So we just started going through NIH, going through building vitamins and supplements that could help people cope with what has happened to us. And that became a widely successful business. But I didn't start out actually just trying to create a wildly successful business. I started out trying to help people survive what was happening. The fourth thing that I did was my mindset changed from being a sick care doctor, which most physicians are, and that is the way we were trained, to becoming a true healthcare practitioner. So I went into healthcare. So we started doing things like moringa, lemongrass, mint, spirulina. We started doing ultimate immune support that can help people support their immunity through all kinds of things. And then the last thing that I did was I preached the gospel like crazy. Wherever I went, wherever they called me, whatever show I was upon, I talked about Jesus, I preached about Jesus, I screamed about Jesus, I sang about Jesus, and I was like, if you don't like me talking about Jesus, go jump in the river.
Yeah.
By the way, Dr. Stella and I, I'm her biological brother, and she's got an unbelievable tanning supplement that she takes, and it's really working well for her, so you got to check that out. Now, this right here, who has got this document? The roller coaster. The roller coaster. You see this document here? On the back, this is my office, and this is where we're going to host our conference in April with Tim Tebow. My office is a little bit crazy because normally we'll have about 2 times as many people as this, and it's packed, and it's wild, and this is my campus. Who does not have this document? This is my spot here. So this is my spot. This is my dojo, okay? But on the back side, this is the roller coaster. Look at the roller coaster here, okay? So the roller coaster here, I want you to see, these are the phases of growing a company, all right? So number 1, you have to start with the accounting. Darren, when you're selling mattresses, why do you, make sure you eat that mic, why do you have to know your margins before you start selling mattresses?
Well, the first thing I always teach people, you got to know your number to grow your numbers. So you have to know what it costs you each week to run your business, know what your average profit per transaction or profit per sale. And when you know your number, you can set goals and do what you need to do to get your...
I would argue, and I'm not picking on the candle person, because I'm mentioning the candle because I know about the candle. I'm going to buy a candle, but I don't know. You don't have to tell me. I don't know how much money you make per candle you sell, but I sat down with a lady years ago who was selling cookies, gourmet cookies, and I sat down with her. And Jen, have you ever met somebody who's passionate about gourmet desserts, Jen?
No.
Okay, no. I'm sitting down with this lady, and I said, ma'am, we're looking at the numbers, and I said, at your current pace, no matter how many cookies you sell, it is not mathematically possible for you to cover your lease. And the reason why this person hired me was her husband was massively successful. They got married. And when you get married, how many know when you get married, you team up? You team up. And so his wife had this business, and she was losing money. No matter how many cookies she sold, she lost money. And the husband says, please sit down with my wife. Even if you're a coach for her for 1 month, I know you normally do long-term stuff, but for a month, please do math with my wife. And I'm telling you, you should write it down somewhere on the back of your book here, on the back, very back inside cover, you should write it down. Emotions block logic. And so she was so emotional, her amygdala, the emotional processing center of her brain. She was so excited about her cookies, which, by the way, tasted great, that she didn't have time to do the math. Are we on the same page? So, Jen, you are selling so many cheesecakes, and you love your customers, and you were a single mom. You were raised you came from an abusive home. You don't want to be an exclusive, bougie, no one can afford your dessert person, but you also can't become homeless en route to saving America's desire to eat tasty desserts. What is your relationship like with the numbers? We'll put on the screen here, again, the numbers. What is your relationship like with numbers?
I do not like numbers, but I'm getting better with knowing my numbers.
Yes, you are.
And I do have them here.
Yeah, you want to talk about numbers?
If you want to talk about
let's talk about those. When you ship a cheesecake,
yes.
How much does it cost you to ship it? I mean, just you to ship it. Not making any money, but just to ship that thing.
It was $29, and it was really, really hard for me. My son came to me and he said, Mom, we're losing money on shipping because our shipping with FedEx and UPS has gone up, and it goes up also during the holiday season. And so he's like, we need to raise our price, and it's really hard for me. And then I have Clay team up with my son, and it makes sense. You don't want to lose money.
We're an anti-poverty coup. We teamed up against her. So if you go to belovedcheesecakes.com, I mean this, everybody watching this, if you're watching, you're going, I'm trying to find a great gift for family this Christmas season.
It is. It's the best gift to give someone that has everything. And I promise you, when we are charging $35 for shipping, it's 2-day air and with dry ice. So I know people think that's so expensive, but that is literally our cost for the shipping. That's not the cost for the cheesecake.
It's not mean to cover your costs, but you got to do accounting, okay? So we go back to this document, the roller coaster, okay? How much profit do you make per customer? We need to know that. Everyone needs to write that down with your Sharpie. You ever got a Sharpie? Some of you have been sniffing the Sharpie. You're like, this conference is so terrible. I see something in the back. Oh, man, I got to get through this conference. Okay, but seriously, take your Sharpie out and write it down right here. How much profit do you make per customer? And you got to know how many customers you need just to break even. Now, Dr. Stella, I'm not rebuking anything you said, not arguing. Even though you have a desire to share the gospel, you have to at least break even to be viable. Why?
Because I need money to preach the gospel.
That's right.
And I take care of a lot of people. I remember in 2023, some people came to me. They wanted to get my practice and everything because they said it was really doing well. And they were giving me one of this, you need to do this because, you need to fight the battle and you need to come with the heart of. I said, stop right there. I said, I have a ranch that I pay for and people come and stay there for free. I do ministry. I have people monthly that I support all over the world. That part of it is my charity work. But Dr. Stella MD is my business. Don't try to manipulate me. It's not going to work. Because people are like, well, it's expensive. Your doctor fee is $120 and it's expensive. I said, yes, I have to pay, attorneys, I have to pay licenses, I have to pay staff. My staff love me, but they are not coming to work if they don't get paid.
Didn't you go to college for like 6 weeks to become a doctor?
I know, right? 6 weeks.
Okay, 6 weeks.
I
Okay.
just downloaded it online, you know.
That's right. Now, okay, again, accounting, okay? Dave Ramsey, okay, he says a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. That's Dave Ramsey, okay? This is the roller coaster, okay? This is how you do it. The next is you're moving up that roller coaster. How many of you have been on a roller coaster? You're going up, gets kind of exciting. This is the part that not a lot of momentum. You're going up. There's not any momentum yet, okay? Branding. You've got to have a website that's great. We talked about it. You got to have business cards that aren't the reverse of awesome, okay? You need to have a one sheet. You need to be able to clarify what it is that you do that separates you. And I've tried to bring examples of everything. This document, you can wave it at me. This is my one sheet. This is what I do within the context of a coach. I mean, there's other things I do too, but this is within the context of a coach. This is what I do. Darren, talk to us about mattresses. What separates your mattress brand from other mattress companies? Dude.
Well, one, our business model is free. We give it away. So there's no charge, which separates us from all the other businesses. We offer, it's a one-man show, so there's very low overhead, and we can sell the product for 50 to 70% less than what you'd pay in a typical retail store. So we save people tons of money.
So you've clearly figured you're a discount mattress store that makes owners money, right? That's what he does. That's what he does, okay? So moving on here. Signage, branded email. You got to have a branded email. If you're trying to get someone, Mr. Graphic Design guy, Mr. Video guy, Mr. Production, if you're trying to get the business of a big business and you're emailing from like a Yahoo account or an AOL or an MSN or, Clay at AskJeeves.com. People find it hard to believe that you're credible. So you want to have a branded email. You want to have it at your own unique website domain. Then again, to Michael Levine, who spoke earlier, he once said, if you give someone a present and you give it to them in a Tiffany box, it's likely that they'll believe that the gift has a higher perceived value than if you gave it to them in no box or a box of less prestige. We on the same page? The packaging does matter. Box number 3, marketing. We're still not getting momentum yet. Marketing, we talked about it. You got to have a 3-legged marketing stool. How will you reach your ideal and likely buyers? Who is a cheer parent? Cheerleading mom, cheerleading dad? Who's done it? Who's cheerleading? Okay. Who's not? All right. Okay, here we go. I got 4 daughters. They're all cheering it up. We got 3 kids cheering it up. And what they do at the cheer events, Sean, will you look up Cheer 2025 NCAA competition on YouTube? What they do, cheer music, it starts with, if it was a soup, it starts with 80s music that they speed up to the level of like a chipmunk. So it's like AC/DC. It's like, cause I'm TNT, but they speed it up. I'm dynamite. I'm TNT. I'm ready to fight. And this is the music they force you to listen to if you're a cheer dad, okay? So hit play on the video here. Hit play. This is what happens. Okay. They come out. Pause. Everybody, pause. Everyone's required to have fake hair. You see that hair? That's fake hair. Anybody here bought a lot of fake hair? You don't have to put your hand up. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're selling fake hair, the cheer competition's a great place to go. Why? Jen, were you a cheerleader? Were you into big Darren, you big into the cheer world? You like cheerleading? Okay, you got to buy fake hair. Come on, who's a cheer parent? You've ever seen this? I show up in every kid, there's 45 kids on the team, 25 kids, 12 kids, they all have fake hair. They're required to have fake hair. Then they all have to spray tan. Then they have to practice every night until you as a parent hate yourself. So the coach is like, your daughter's getting pretty good, but do you hate yourself? I mean, I kind of like myself. I have confidence and an unshakable faith. I'm doing good. My daughter, is she getting good at cheer? Well, then you need to practice more. Okay, next week. Do you hate yourself? I have started to hate myself. I don't like any part of myself at all. I'm bitter, frankly, about coming to these lessons and paying you hundreds of dollars per hour to teach us how to flip because the skills aren't transferable. Sorry, you're not bitter enough. More practices, more training. And then everyone wants to be a flyer. The flyer is the one who goes up in the air. And the problem is you have to be a midget who weighs 7 pounds. So every kid's trying not to eat. They're like, feed your daughters icicles. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. It won't create any dietary problems long term. Just feed them icicles, So spray tan, fake hair, 80s music, hit play. This is what happens. And your kids perform for 3 minutes. You don't get more than 3 minutes. Who's ever seen this? Who's not seen this before? Who's not seen this? This is it. We're here at Cheer Life. Here we go. Get ready. They're psyching it up. They're talking it up. They're like, look, there's 40 of us. They're doing something. And by the way, there's no scoring going on. You don't know if your kid's ahead or behind. They don't keep score in the traditional sense. And then every cheer ends almost like a cult. They all start clapping at the end. And you watch it. Pause. You travel. They have tournaments in Orlando, Dallas. They say, sir, where do you live? I live in Tulsa. Yeah, the next one's going to be on the surface of the sun. Can you get there? Are you committed? I'm kind of committed. Do you hate yourself? Not yet. Well, then you need to go to this tournament. And once you hate yourself, you're committed. Okay. So where do you live, sir? In Tulsa. Oh, well, we're going to have it in Orlando. We're going to do it on Christmas Day because we want to do the Christmas Invitational, you know. And sir, when's your anniversary? May? Yeah, well, we're going to do it in Toronto on your anniversary. Therefore, how many of you have seen cheer? It's like this. Who's done competitive basketball or baseball or football? They start selling all this crap. Everyone needs a private coach. Have you seen this? Everyone needs a private teacher, a private mentor, private lessons, private stuff. Okay, so this goes on. This is cheer. So if you're trying to sell fake hair, this is your market. Anybody here into spray tan? This is your market. The kids are required to spray tan. 12-year-olds. Your kids look like raccoons. They're wearing glasses to cover their eyes. Have you seen this? God, it's crazy. Hit play. Crazy. I'm not bitter, though. I'm just angry. Here it goes. All the dads are going, can I go home? Please let me go home. Please let me go home. Please. All the moms are going, why isn't she a flyer? Why isn't my daughter a flyer? Okay. Flipping, no helmets. People are getting injured all the time. Keep going. But these are transferable skills. You do this in the office every day. This is what you do when you grow up. Everyone can do this. Here we go. Come on. Now it's going to end. Every cheer ends with clapping. Wait a second. Here we go. They're flipping. Oh boy, here we go. Now they're flipping. Very hard to do. Don't know why you're doing it, but it's very hard to do. It's kind of like it's hard to smell a sticker at the bottom of a pool. Hard to do, but here we go. They're doing it. This is what they want to do. Hang in there. This is somebody's kid. Throwing each other around. Is this a mosh pit? What's happening? Fake hair everywhere, spray tan. No one has eaten anything in a decade. Looking for thin midgets to throw in the air. Now, here you go. The dads are like, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. Pause. And then when they leave, because your kids only perform for 3 minutes all week. So you're in Orlando at Disney or some sort of place where pedophiles roam freely, you know, you're there. And you're there, and you're there for, I'm serious, who knows what I'm talking about? And your kid performs for 3 minutes, and they don't get a score. So after they perform, you don't even know if they won or lost. You just leave going, it was what it was. It is what it is. And then you find out at the end that your team lost by 702 points. This is crazy. And I'm saying, if you're trying to sell fake hair, I know a guy, buff man, who makes millions of dollars. Buff man, dark-skinned man, big buff, dark-skinned man. He makes millions selling products to these cheer moms and extorting it from men like me. I meet him all the time because I get up at 4 and I'm in the lobby of whatever hotel. They make you stay at like a 5-star hotel. You can't stay at a crappy hotel. No, you got to stay at the Ritz-Carlton for the cheer event. So we all stay poor. So you're at the Ritz-Carlton, 4 a.m. He's like, Clay, good to see you. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it is good for you to see me. And I'm going, how much money are you pulling back on this one? Because he organizes them. He's like, oh, it's incredible. I mean, it's a lot. I get a kickback on the hotel per kid, sign up fee, registration fee. You get the training fee. I'm like, let's be real. You're making $1 million a quarter. Come on, I've done the math. I've sketched it out. I know. He goes, a little more than that, my friend. I'm like, oh, sick. True story. So it's a thing. So if you're trying to sell fake hair, though, here, who's going to be buying that? Anybody here like, yeah, I want some fake hair and spray tan. Let's do it. I love this business conference. Let's go. So you got to find your ideal and likely buyer. Why am I sharing you these crazy stories? Because it will get stuck into your head for the rest of your life. It's either memorable or insignificant. Okay, so moving on to box number 4, sales. you eventually have to sell something. That's where it becomes a real business. You have to sell something. So Darren, what happens if you get the business registered, you get your Google map, you rent your space, you lease the space, you ship the mattresses in, you slap a label on them, you read all the books, you watch Tony Robbins over and over and over, and then you don't sell anything? What happens?
Then you go broke.
Wah, wah, wah. So you have to eventually sell something. And so, Jen, do you remember the time someone actually bought your cheesecake? Because you're making them out of your house, you're giving them to friends and family. Do you remember the first time that someone actually said, I will give you this thing called a certificate of appreciation, AKA $1 or dollars, in exchange for what you made? Do you remember that moment?
Yes.
What happened?
I made cheesecakes for Christmas of 2015 for friends and family, and then I posted it on my Facebook and just said cheesecakes made with love this year. And I had 3 people reach out and said that they would purchase a cheesecake from me for New Year's. And I did not feel right about it. One, because it was friends, and I didn't know what to charge at the time.
Yeah.
And it was just a little surreal moment, and I didn't feel right. But
Now, this is pre-Christ, but you need to know this story because it's real and it applies to somebody. Who here was ever a DJ? Disc jockey? Okay, you and I, we connect. Here we go. We're having that story. So I couldn't get anyone to hire me because I was a DJ. I wasn't that good. I was motivated. I could mix pretty well, but I didn't have any gigs. So I cold called the Yucatan liquor stand, pre-Christ, okay? But who's from Tulsa? Who's been to Tulsa? I ran into a lady in Miami about 3 years ago at the Yucatan. She said, DJ Clay, Yucatan liquor stand 99. I'm like, 90. Okay, you're a drunk volleyball player on Thirsty Thursdays. I know you. You know me. Okay. But I went to the owner and I said, hey, can you just pay me every time we sell an adult beverage? Like if there any beverage that sells, can you just pay me $2? And he goes, sure. On a Thursday, nobody shows up anyway. Sure. So I became this hype man for Thirsty Thursdays. And so I'm trying to, this is pre-Christ, but I'm walking. Imagine about this many people are at this place at 71st and Memorial in front of Target. And I would say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Yucatan liquor stand. I'm your man. And anytime that you buy any beverages tonight, you're entered in for a chance to win an unbelievable trip to Mexico. And I know it's a Thursday. I know many of you have jobs, responsibilities, families. You're trying to stay sober, but let's throw all the caution to the wind and let's buy alcohol because it pays for my future. And one by one, people are like, yeah, I'll have one. And I'm like, sir, you can't have one. And now I have 8. Come on. What kind of person are you to not have 8? Come on. And pretty soon he's like, okay, I've had 8. I'm done. I'm like, okay, he's had 8. Can anyone beat 8? Can we do 14? And then pretty soon the owner's like, dude, you're selling hundreds and hundreds of bottles of alcohol. You are God's gift. I'm like, I'm kind of Satan's gift thinking about it. But I'm selling a lot of alcohol. And that's how I got paid, was $2 per adult beverage. That's how I got paid. That was my thing. And then we threw in volleyball, because nothing's more fun than watching people who are hammered play volleyball who haven't moved their bodies in a decade. People are, they're trying to volley. No one ever volleys. They're just stumbling around in the sand, which is a parking lot in front of Target. Wow, that was Thursdays. There was the Club Millennium. I was there, a lot of clubs. But I had to find a way to solve a problem. And again, you got to do it now I try to do everything through the perspective of Christ. I'm not trying to do that now, but that's what I did then. So I'm just saying, you got to find a problem you can solve. And the problem these bartenders had, these restaurants had, was no one was buying alcohol on Thursdays. So don't think that way. Think about something more virtuous. But you have to sell something that solves a problem. You have to sell something. And I want you to draw a diagram on the back of your book. Draw a diagram, okay? Weights and, who's ever seen the law, the scales of justice, the scales of justice, okay? On the left side is I don't want to buy, and on the right side is I do want to buy, okay? So why do people buy? On the left side, I don't want to buy. On the right side, I do want to buy. Make your own drawing. On the left side, I don't want to buy, and on the right side, I do want to buy. And Darren, if you could write down these words for me real quick, okay? Why I don't want to buy is I don't trust you. So on the left side, put don't trust somewhere. Don't trust. Don't trust. How many of you are like that? I don't trust this person, I'm not buying. I don't trust. Okay? On the right side is trust. So let's get really actionable. A video testimonial from a real customer is worth 1,000 of your presentations. Maybe that's hyperbolic. Maybe they're worth 10 of your presentations. But I know of a cosmetic surgeon very well, I'll be very vague about who he is, who's the worst salesman I've ever met. ever. And if you ever meet the guy, you're concerned about how unconfident he communicates. You know, you're like, so you're a cosmetic surgeon. Should I hire you for my procedure? And well, I mean, there's a lot of them out there. I don't want to pressure you. I did graduate. Are you good? Well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, Randy. Yeah, I mean, I'm, one of the ones that are out there. And I'm like, bro, stop. So we called all of his patients, and I said, can we get you on a video testimonial testifying that you don't have to say what it was, but you've used his cosmetic procedures and you're happy with his customer service or his patient care. And once he got about 50 reviews, he never, ever, 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 ever had to sell anymore. Because people would call and go, yeah, I've watched online, I've done my research, and I've determined that you are a good fit. Does that make sense? So a video testimonial is on the right side, that's a home run. A video testimonial, that is sweet. That's like the best, that's gold, okay? On the right side, on the left side. The left side is why I'm not buying. It's a complaint. Who's ever seen a complaint? Oh, you go to Reddit, type in my name, that's gonna be fun for you. Not fun for me, fun for you. How many of you know when you fire a bottom-feeding, soul-sucking sack of human skin, just a grotesque, repulsive, nefarious person who used to be an employee? You don't round up your best people and fire them, do you? But when you have a soul-sucking, backstabbing, customer-stealing, nefarious, just jackass of humanity, and you fire them, what do now? They go on Reddit and they're like, well, if you knew how it really was, it's like working in a cult, right? And then the people who haven't had a job in a decade, they're like, that's right too, yeah. Have you seen this? So a complaint is on the left side, right? That's kind of dangerous when you do what I do, because you get complaints because people are like, he's spreading the virus, he hates people, this guy's anti-people, he hates people. Okay, so complaint. On the right side is a Google review. You're in California, we'll put, say, a Yelp review as well. Okay? You see what I'm saying? And by default, you're not gonna get video reviews and Google reviews and Yelp reviews. On the left side, these are reasons why not to buy. I haven't heard of you before. Write that down. I haven't heard of you before. You have a big business, you wanna sell it to me? I go, I don't know, I haven't heard of you before. How many don't talk, like even hiring a babysitter, I haven't heard of you before, I don't know if I can trust you. On the right side is an endorsement from the right person. Interesting story, Mr. Eric Trump, who spoke today, we were at one event somewhere, sometime, doing something, and Eric said from the stage, he goes, someone asked a question, and Eric goes, that man, where's Clay? And the audience pauses, and he's like, nobody knows more about marketing than Clay Clark. He is the best marketer I've ever seen. And I'm like, Santa, thank you, Santa. Santa, I'm like, do we have that somewhere? I mean, because it was wild. Well, that week, I'm getting people from all over the country that are calling me going, I've watched your show for years, but Eric says you're the best at marketing ever, and I know someone who works with him, and they told me he's being real. That was like a big thing for me as an endorsement. So again, on this other side is I don't know you. On the other side is an endorsement. So I'm asking you to think about your life and your business right now. Think about it, okay? So Dr. Stella, let's go through it. Left side, I don't want to buy from you. Right side, I do want to buy from you. What was a tipping point for you where the world started to say, you know what? I do trust you. Was it when you spoke at the Capitol? Was it when you were on various interviews? Was it when the mainstream media came after you? Because the attack from the mainstream media actually became an endorsement for people that think CNN is a mockery, right? But when was that tipping point for you where it kind of started to work out for you?
I think it was the attack from the media. That was probably like a big one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I started getting on interviews like Candace Owens, Alex Jones, you, and a lot of people. After that July, I had a lot of people interviewed me. But I think the one that really hit it was this Channel 2 in Houston.
Wow.
That came to my office trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do. But I just basically told them that I was a demon buster and I would cast demons out of CNN people and that they cannot do anything, that I'm not scared of Texas board, and that if they come after me, it's going to be on. The video went so viral everywhere. It's like, I think that was the second viral video after it. I was like, if you come after me, it's gonna be on. So that really did it.
Now,
And
real
they were
quick,
trying to get me,
I want to tell you this picture here. There's a lot of slides. This is one I would probably take a picture of while other people are thinking about other things. This is all I think about. So I thought about this for about 2 weeks, and I made this. It took about 2 weeks to have this thought. But this is why people buy and why they don't. So we're gonna go through it. So people don't buy because it's not worth the financial sacrifice. I've been doing consulting for 20 years, and people always say, what is the return on investment? Rational question, is it not? If I'm gonna pay you to consult me. They do the same thing with personal trainers for fitness. Like, what is the return on investment, right? It's not worth the money I'm investing. Is it worth it, right? The next is, it doesn't solve my problem. It's not time sensitive. I understand the importance of doing time-sensitive sales pitches, but I don't do them at my conferences because I understand the importance of them. Does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? Have you been to a conference? Who's been to a business conference before? Come on. And they're like, we have exactly 2 whatever the heck's available, and if you don't sign up now, we can't help you. And then people run to the front, and it's just, I don't do that. I've been here for 20 years. Maybe I'm pacing myself to be here for 20 more. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. So if you sign up, great. If you don't, you don't. But a time-sensitive promotion, like if you buy these towels by Thursday, you get one free. How many of you know that works? Buy this by 4 now, you get the deal if you buy it by Friday. So having a time-sensitive special, folks, that will work for your business. I just don't do it for what I do. I do it for the haircut business all the time. I do specials and promotions. I just don't do it for consulting, okay? Because I don't want to put any weird pressure. Next is no reviews. If you have no reviews, I worry about you. How many of you worry about people with no reviews? So you look at it and go, this restaurant has no reviews at all. Well, it's because they're a humble business owner that hasn't been to our conference before, and they're not running around asking for reviews. That's why they don't have reviews. By default, you don't get good reviews, by the way. People don't just go, my salad was awesome. I know what I'll do. I'll leave a review. No, people get pissed and they go, now I know what I'll do. I'll leave a review. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so there isn't enough of a perceived gain. There's not a celebrity endorsement. And by the way, how many of you know a lot of celebrities are broke? How many of you know that? Come on, let's be real. You're in California, you've seen them. A lot of celebrities have a lot of followers, but no money. So how many of you know, like George Foreman teamed up with the Lean Mean Grill Machine? It was called the Fajita Express. And a guy had been trying to sell that thing for a decade, the Fajita Express. And George Foreman agreed to do it for no upfront money and just a percentage of sales. That was a good deal. How many of you know about Priceline, William Shatner? They couldn't get anybody to use Priceline, William Shatner, Spock, Jim. That guy, remember William Shatner, Captain Kirk? Okay, Spock, that guy. So he teams up, all of a sudden people are buying Priceline. A celebrity endorsement, MC Hammer, remember Hammer selling gold? Remember those commercials where he mocked himself? Who remembers the MC Hammer commercials? The joke was, doom, doo, doo, doom, 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 doo, doom. And he's running around like celebrating and popping bottles of champagne and talking about how much wealth he has. And all of a sudden the music stops. And the DJ's like, hey, stop. And he's like, why? He's like, no more Hammer time. And he's like, what? And all of a sudden they're taking his crap away. And he's like, if you need to sell your gold like I did, call yada-yada.com. And it worked for him. So a celebrity, you don't need to have big money up front to get a celebrity endorsement. You just got to have a celebrity endorsement, okay? Next one is there's no kind of event-based pressure or some sort of like if you don't buy by Christmas, you miss the deal. You want to have some sort of event like a Valentine's special, a Christmas special, a October special. You got to have some kind of event tied to it. By the way, in the mattress world, does that work when you have some kind of special? Like if you get a mattress by the end of the month, you get a discount. Does that work?
We mostly just create sense of urgency every week, so we have a special every day. We kind of treat...
Every week?
Every day.
You have daily specials?
Every day.
I love it. Okay, so it's unbelievable. Okay, so next, the food isn't good enough. Like if your product isn't good, is what I'm saying. If your product isn't good, no matter how much marketing you put on it, people just don't want to buy it eventually, okay? They want to abstain. People say, I kind of, right now with the market being what it is, I don't know that I want to buy the thing. It's kind of like when Bitcoin goes down, people are like, I want to buy it, I don't want to buy it, I want to buy it. Have you seen that? Bitcoin, you should buy, don't buy, but so I'm going to take I'll abstain. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Next is there's no testimonials. There's no word of mouth. Word of mouth is so important. And if you do a good job, you'll get word of mouth, okay? So these are just reasons here. And then why do people buy? To avoid pain, to solve a problem. There's a time-sensitive special. Forbes now says that 88% of people trust reviews more than friends. Doobie, doobie, doo. Do, 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 do. Also, it's interesting. It's a sign of the times, too. People trust an anonymous review more than their friends. I mean, that's kind of weird, okay? To gain experience, people say, I'll buy to gain an experience. I might not get anything out of it, but I have an experience. Maybe I can meet that person, get a photo with them, that kind of thing. A celebrity endorsement, a holiday event special, or in Darren's case, a weekly promotional, because most people are buying. How many of you know people like to buy because other people are buying? I saw one guy years ago. How many of you have been to a get-rich-quick seminar and you've seen the sales and you can feel the sliminess? I got invited. I won the Entrepreneur of the Year, the Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year. So I was 27, and I won this award. And this slime ball calls me. I'll be very vague. I don't want to get sued. He said, hey, could you come and speak? And I go, sure. What on? He says, time management. So if you've ever been to these things, they put the credible people first and the slime at the end or in the middle. So I'm speaking, then there's a famous NFL player speaking before me, then I'm speaking, then there's a guy who was had a major sitcom, he's speaking, and we're back to back, and we're backstage, and I'm like, how does this guy make money? I got paid 10 grand to be here. What'd you get paid? The guy says, 10, 10, 10. I'm like, how does he make money? Oh, then the host comes up, and he's like, guys, I'm about ready to sell some stuff. Watch. And I'm like, what? And he's so dirty. He's just a dirty, manipulative, shady guy. And he's like, guys, I'm going to make some explosive sales right now. He's like, have you ever seen the movie Dodgeball? Where there's the shady gym owner? You know, that's kind of his personality. And he's like, I've got every move possible. Get ready for the laser show. And I'm going, okay, you know, and I'm 27. I don't know. I was born yesterday. And anyway, so he gets up. He says, okay, guys, I don't want to put any pressure, but we only have 8 availabilities left for my thing. So what happens when he says the number 8? What happens? People start looking around, and then he pays people in the audience to get up and to start walking. So that's one thing he does. It's a dirty move, but it's his move. So one guy's like, I want to get going now. He's like, hey, we can't go now. Well, then another guy stands up, and it's a famous athlete that everybody knows. And he goes, hey, I'm making a name up. Hey, Carl. And Carl's like, hey, man, can I be in the program? And I'm like, oh, come on. And everyone knows the guy. And I'm like, you got a celebrity athlete, and I'm watching this. And then he goes, no, guys, here's the deal. We only take 8 spots, and tonight, anyone who signs up gets to come have dinner with Celebrity Man and this guy. But first, I want to have some testimonials. And this is how it works. There's a program where it's like $5 grand a month to become this best-selling author. That's the program. It's $5 grand to become a best-selling author. And the rule is if you come up and testify about your future in advance, he gives you half off. So these are people who are in a contract for $5,000 a month for 12 months. And you get 30 grand back if you come up and give a bogus testimonial. Does that make sense? It's not ethical, but it's his move, you know? So if you testify in advance to the success you're going to have, and if you sign anybody up, you get a 50% commission. So he's created this culture of it's like a sales coliseum. And pretty soon, you know, it's just like, ring, 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 ring. And he's like, and now folks, if you want to sign up, you can. And people run to the back, they push, and they sell. And I'm just watching this guy make millions of dollars selling just crap. You know, so after the event, I said, how do you sleep? He goes, well, very well. In my lucrative, home, beautiful mansion, I sell very well. You don't feel bad? He's like, no, it's a sport, my friend. I win, they lose, art of war. And I'm like, you are sick. And I felt horrible for having been a part of the event. And then I said, dude, I can't ever speak for your events ever again. He goes, or nor could you ever speak about them because you signed my NDA with your agreement. And I'm like, oh, snap. And he's still doing it today. He still does it. It's a whole thing. And I'm telling you, these moves I'm showing you can be used for good or bad. Who knows what I'm talking about? So when you start to sell something, don't ever use these moves to sell. Does Big Pharma use these moves? Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift? Take the shot. Take the shot. Have you seen those commercials? They're using their celebrity to push that. What about mainstream music? Are you seeing music push this agenda? This perversion on our kids, are you seeing that? So these are moves, but you gotta use them for good. I wanna get your thoughts on this, Darren. Darren, you're a sales master. You know what you're doing with sales. You're a humble guy, you know what you're doing. You actually you started out doing Cutco knives. Oh yeah, that's a hardened sales warrior right there. Tell us about going door to door trying to sell knives to people that don't want them.
Well, so the trick was we got paid whether they bought or not. So we didn't really have to do a lot of selling, but we were taught we'd set up appointments. We go into people's homes, and while we were there, we'd go to the neighbor's house, let them know, hey, I'm next door showing them this stuff. Can I show you? And we do the next door neighbor approach, and we had like a 25, 30-minute presentation. And
objectively, did you like the knives?
Oh yeah, best product on the market.
Liked them. But were you getting rejected a lot when you knocked on the doors? Were you getting?
Yeah, all the time.
Did people ever pull a knife on you when you were trying to sell a knife?
I switched from knives to mattresses. I thought it was safer.
But sales, I mean, how many sales presentations did you have to do before you got good or confident or got good at being dealing with rejection?
Actually, my first 40 sales presentations, I went 0 for 40. And
feels good.
I bought the book Secrets of Closing a Sale by Zig Ziglar.
There it is.
I was trying so hard to sell, learning all the closes, and I just tried so hard. And then I had a mentor. He told me to stop trying to sell, just be authentic, be natural, and have fun. So I did that, and
it worked.
People started to buy.
So now we go back to this document here. Now you have to wow the customer, okay? Now we're having fun because we just sold something. Now we're going down that roller coaster. Now we're getting some momentum. Now we're getting some energy. I'm not a big roller coaster guy, so for me it would be more like, oh no, can we make it stop? That would be me on a roller coaster. I get sick in cars, by the way. I get car sickness, motion sickness. I get sick just thinking, those video games where you pretend you're on a motorcycle? I get sick on that. I get sick just thinking about you on a motorcycle. Just Dramamine, get me Dramamine. I get sick looking at a cruise ship, being on a cruise ship, being around a cruise ship. So, but the thing is, when you're going down, that's theoretically when it's fun on a roller coaster. Who likes roller coasters? Anybody here like roller coasters? So this is the fun part. You have to wow the customer. Please write that down so I'm not a bad teacher. You have to wow the customer. It is incumbent upon you to wow the customer. When you wow, they will refer you now. When you wow, they will refer you now. You want to treat people the way you want to be treated, right? Do as unto others what you would have them do unto you. You have to wow the customer. If you have a restaurant, one of my clients in Visalia, it's called Crawdaddy's. Look him up, Crawdaddy's in Visalia. He is having massive growth because he is obsessively wowing every customer. We've had the privilege of coaching and working with him now since we did our event out there, and he is growing exceedingly and abundantly well because he is wowing customers without an apology. If you're a first-time customer, they're giving you free appetizers. They're treating you like a celebrity. It is next level. Stacy, you've been there. David, you've been there. Who's been to Visalia? Who's been to Crawdaddy's? This guy is rocking, but you have to wow customers. Now, what happens, Jen? Jen, what if you wouldn't do this, but what if somebody mails a not good product with not good materials? You use the freshest. Tell us about the freshness of your cheesecakes.
Yeah, so our cheesecakes are shipped. We deep freeze them, and then we ship them with dry ice, and cheesecake is wonderful because you can freeze it up to 3 months. And so everything is scratch made, homemade, all of our sauces, our salted caramel sauce. And the way that we wow our customers is it's becoming, what's the word I'm looking for? Obsolete. Well, it's obsolete now to call people, but we call and thank our customers for their orders.
Yes, you do.
And so, verbally, it's not AI, and that wows customers all the time. And then we do handwritten thank you notes with the shipments as well.
True story, but talking about wowing. Eric Trump called me, he said, hey, my wife's turning 40. Do you and your wife want to come to the birthday party? And again, knowing enough about me, you probably know my initial reaction. I like him, but I'm like, I don't know, because it's gonna be Dan Bongino, it's gonna be Cash, it's gonna be celebrity conservatives. Basically, the Turning Point USA headliners are gonna be there, and then there's me, and I'm kind of like the fact guy. I'm not a big mRNA guy. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm a little concerned about AI. You know, I'm there and I'm going, I call my wife, Vanessa, do you want to go? She's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, okay. So now Vanessa's dressing up like a tropical fish because you got to match the theme, you know, and I'm wearing my thing, which is at the same thing every day. So we show up there, and Eric, I'm just being real. Eric calls me the morning after the birthday party at 5 in the morning. He says, what's up, dude? I go, how are you? He says, hey, did you have a great time? At 5 in the morning on the day after the party. And I go, yeah. He's like, what'd your wife think? I'm like, well, she's asleep. I don't know. And he's like, well, I knew you'd be up. Is there anything that we could have done better? Did you meet my ammo guy, the guy I buy guns and ammo from? I go, yeah. He goes, did you meet the guy who fixes the cars? Did you meet him? Did you meet our chauffeur? What a great guy. Did you meet, hey, did I introduce you to Jared? Did you meet Jared? And hey, did you meet this? What did your wife think about meeting my dad? What did you think? And he was like, sincerely trying to wow us. But it gets worse. We go to Trump Tower, he invites us. Who does a handwritten note and thanks you for staying at their property? He does. We check in the room and it's a freaking handwritten note that he wrote thanking us for staying there. So it's a different level of commitment if you want to wow. Are we on the same page? Your goal has to be to wow, not to just merely satisfy. Are we on the same page? We got to wow. That's going to require you to go the extra mile. When you over-deliver, you get overpaid. You got to wow, okay? Next box, okay? 6 and 7, then we'll fit 6 and 7, okay? Box number 6, HR management, okay? Business is offense, defense, and special teams. What am I saying? Business is offense, that's marketing. Defense is accounting. And special teams is the people, right? So it requires a special team to make a special dream. So if your front desk man sounds sarcastic and negative and like he doesn't want to work for you, it's not going to work. Offense, defense, special team. You need a special team to make your special dream work. And if you don't have good people, I'll get into it tomorrow, how to find them. It's very easy. I'll teach you the system on how to find good people. It's not weird. It's not odd. It's not cringy. I'll teach you a system to find good people. But if you don't have good people, Dr. Stella, you have great people that represent you. I've met them at the conferences. You've brought them to events. What if you came up and did this presentation today and everybody who worked for you was sarcastic and maybe even anti-Christian?
It would chase away my people. And one of the things that I try to get across to my staff and everybody that works with me is that our goal is for people. You know, when we traveled through Reawaken America conference for years, and I would stand outside and take selfies, like 200-300 selfies in a day, because it's about people. So if my staff knows that what we do as Christians, as a physician, it's about people. So if you don't love people, and I don't blame the people that come to the conferences with 3 bodyguards and standing behind the whatever, I don't blame them because that's them. But I believe in people. So because of that, we just make sure that all our staff, all our people, they know that it's about people. So if the customer is always right. So if my staff is complaining, if anybody that comes to us is complaining, you know, my staff has to, it's about people. We love people, and that is why we do what we do. It's because we love people.
Is anybody here kind of a quasi-new Christian believer? I won't do an altar call, by the way. Anybody here kind of a newer Christian believer? Anybody here? So I remember a buddy of mine, he had season tickets for the Broncos game. The Broncos, Denver Broncos. And I was not a believer at all. Okay, I went to church, but I didn't believe it. I just went, I'm like, my mega hot wife, I met her at ORU. That's a Christian college. I'm sold. I'll keep going to church, but I don't believe it. So we're going to church. I'm not believing in church, but I'm going to church. But how many of you like football, college football of any kind, or maybe pro football? I liked Tebow. Did anybody like Tebow in college? And I liked him because he was sincere. And I thought, you know what? I don't believe in Jesus, but I believe in touchdown Jesus. You remember the guy? He would score a touchdown and get on a knee and pray. And I thought, man, he's committed. I mean, have you ever been in a college locker room or a pro sports locker room? That is not the culture. And I'm going, how many of you knew about the Florida Gators culture, too? The Florida Gators culture, a lot of wildness there, a lot of the bar scene in Miami. I mean, so anyway, Team Tebow. So a buddy of mine says, hey, I got season tickets for the Broncos, and you wouldn't believe it. The game is over, and he's calling me from the game. The game's over. The game's been over for like an hour. And Tim is literally shaking the hands and hugging every single disabled child. And I'm like, how many? He's like, there are thousands They turned off the stadium lights, and he's out here, still in the uniform, hours after the game. And I'm going, no way. We'll see if he does it all season. So they have a big loss. Remember that season at Tim Tebow, that all the miracles, all the crazy come from behind wins? There was also losses. And I'm like, they just lost. What's happening? He's like, he is out there holding people, hugging people, praying for people, leading people to Jesus, praying for their parents, people with Down syndrome, people with cerebral palsy. And I'm like, this guy's awesome. So he wore the eye black that said John 3:16. And I'm like, I'm going to look that up. So I'm looking it up, and that was kind of my start of learning about Christ, was Tim Tebow's eye black. You know, it was just, that's what kind of pulled me in, is wanting to know. And then we had a very miraculous experience with our son, who was born completely blind. By the way, my son was born blind, and he now sees, which is another crazy thing. So there's a lot of things God's been pulling, a lot of things. But all I'm just saying is, like, Tim Tebow, to me, I was like, man, this guy's a real guy. That's why we have him come to our conferences. He'll be at our April conference. But he's a very real, sincere person. And I'm just saying, you, right now, I want you to just write this down somewhere on your, rate your team on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And if it's just you, that could be a tough score. But are you trying to wow the customer or just satisfy? Are we on the same page? It's that extra mile that wows the customer, that extra mile that wows the customer, okay? And the final step we're gonna cover today, that I wanna play one thing for you, is quality control. Only the most brave entrepreneur will do step 7. Only the most courageous entrepreneur in this room will do it, okay? And by the way, this is taught in a book called The Service Profit Chain. It's a case study written by Harvard many years ago, before woke Harvard. If there ever was a time before woke Harvard, maybe there wasn't, I don't know. But so the Service Profit Chain, and it talks about you want to call every customer after they buy something and ask them how you can improve. So just there's 3 questions you ask, okay? It's called the Net Promoter Score. You say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, how happy were you? And you ask them to sincerely give you a number, and they'll go, 9. Okay, if you were me, what would you improve upon? And they'll tell you, right? And then you want to take that feedback and put it at the front of your product development systems. And that's how you make your product better, is the feedback based upon, your customer feedback drives your improvement. Does that make sense? Your customer feedback drives your innovation. Are we on the same page? So I want to brag on my attorney, Mike King, did a great job on this particular part. Sean, you got that song pulled up? Can't take it with me? You got it? Yep. So Mike King, how many of you have ever been in a big lawsuit? And I'm in a lawsuit related to the Reawaken. I'll be vague about it so I don't get sued. And Mike says, how are we doing? Who's not been in a lawsuit before? Okay, what happens is you're in a room and everyone's getting paid $3.50 an hour and you're paying. All right? All the lawyers, all the experts, and they're there looking at information, and you've been in this litigation for years, and you're doing depositions, and your phone is being subpoenaed, and you have to get testimonies, and millions of dollars are being discussed. And Mike, I know Mike. Do you know Mike King? You know Mike? So Mike knows me, and Mike knows how to wow. I like Mike. Now, Mike and I, we might not agree on everything, but Mike knows how to wow as a lawyer. He knows what he's doing. Mike's been a client of mine, by the way, for years. So Mike says, how are we doing? And he knows I'm not happy. And he's like, do you want like a minute? You want a break? Because we're in this mediation thing. We're having the thing. And I go, I need to go write a song in the bathroom. And Mike, because you have to ask Mike, because Mike said, if you go talk to my wife about money, I'm going to go write a song. So this is the song that I wrote in the bathroom while being in this litigation. Because Mike knows that I'm a creative. Anybody here a creative? I can't spend my day talking about mitigating risk, because I believe we have a strong risk of dying and we can't take it with us. So I'm not worried about mitigating my risk and saving money. I'm more about like, what do I need to do to end this litigation so I can get back to having fun? And even if I start from the bottom, I'd rather do that than spend my day trying not to fall from the top. Does that make any sense to you? I'd rather spend my day thinking about starting a new thing than, I'd rather team up with Darren to start selling mattresses with no knowledge of mattress sales than spending my day for years trying to protect what I built. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. That's just my philosophy. I'd rather be on offense than defense. Anybody else like that? I'd rather be on offense than defense. So I go to the bathroom. I wrote this song. I want to play it for you because it's kind of about what it's like if you're fearing losing. That's what it's about. And I wrote it from the premise of, I'm probably going to lose millions of dollars today. and the sandwiches they're serving seem to be kind of expensive, and the experts seem to be pretty credible. I somehow know it's going to cost me a lot of money. I'm not really having a good day right now, but, okay, so hit play, Sean. And it's muted. Yo, back it up, back it up. Okay, back it up, here we go.
Big shout out to my team for doing that lawyer thing.
That's Mike King.
We must consider it to be pure joy when we face trials.
when I die, that's fine.
I can't take it with me. That's good, cause I'm not going. I can't take it with me. That's good, cause I'm not going.
Can't take it with me.
I can't take it with me. That's good, cause I'm not going to. I can't take it with me. That's good, cause I'm not going to. Yeah, so I gotta let it go, let it go.
I surrender control, Jesus, take the wheel.
So I gotta let it go, let it go.
Can't take it with me when I die, that's fine. Can't block my shine, I serve the Most High. Can't steal my peace, my eyes on the prize. My work bears fruit unto eternal life.
You can't steal my joy, time's on my side.
Father, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. Under the sun, I found there's really nothing new. It's been the same old game for some time. Like how mankind crucified the Messiah. I'm running the race and I'm enjoying the ride. Fast paced, the way I'm crossing the finish line.
You can't take my soul, but you can have some cash.
You can't take it with you when you die. Nice try, yeah.
I can't take it with me.
That's good, cause I'm not going to.
I can't take it with me. That's good, cause I'm not going to. I can't
Now
take
pause.
it with me.
Now pray for Mike King for a second. We'll play the rest of it in a second. Could you imagine what it's like to be with me in a courtroom where you know you're with a guy who doesn't care about winning? I just want to go home so I can write music. Whatever home that is. It could be a mobile home. It's fine. It could be my car. Because I just don't like spending time on defense. So Mike knows he's in the room with like this ultimate alpha entrepreneur that doesn't like to play defense. So Mike's like, are you good? And I'm going, no, I'm not good. It's like that scene where Chevy Chase, he cuts off the Yule post because it wiggles. I know, I'm not good. He's like, his wife's like, got that crazy look, Clark. Are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine, yeah. So he's like, why don't Vanessa and I deal with the legal stuff and you go do whatever that is. And so I'm just telling you, you have to, at the end of the day, humanize your business and ask, are you wowing your customer, okay? And so for Mike, it's like, can I let the crazy eccentric songwriting entrepreneur guy go write songs? For you, it might be, can I let the customer who's a little bit frustrated about the shipping and handling, can I let him have a victory? It could be, could I offer the best service possible? You know what I mean? Because we're not gonna wow everybody by default, but how do I try to sincerely wow every customer? Hit play here, Sean.
That's good, cause I'm not going to. I can't take it with me. That's good, cause I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It just takes a little lawsuit, a little accusation, and you could lose it all. It just takes one instance, just for instance, maybe just a slip and fall. And you can do all the planning, all the lawyering, but it could all just fall. So I ain't gonna fret, I got no regrets, I'm just gonna bet it all. After all, what's the point of gaining it all if I'm just gonna lose my soul? Sitting in a room with a bunch of lawyers, talk about how defense goes. I'd rather be up in the front lines, talk about Jesus and his throne.
Jesus
Bad things
and
happen
his
to good
throne.
people, you knew it, but now you know. I can't take it with me, that's good, cause I'm not going to. I can't take it with me, that's good, cause I'm not going to.
Pause. Next lesson I want to teach you about this song here is that I don't make any money writing songs. I like them. Maybe someone does, maybe someone doesn't. It's okay. But I'm just saying is I have a business or businesses that allow me to have the time freedom to work on music. You know, so if you say like, what is my goal? It's to write music and to meet great people and help you make hit businesses and maybe get an occasional hit song. Does that make sense? So you got to get to a place to where you're really, really clear about what you're doing. Like, what am I doing? Why? Because this right here, tomorrow, we're going to talk about applying all of this. Like, I want to make sure everyone can apply all of this. It's not a million steps, but it's about 7 core steps we have to get into, okay? We've broken it up more detailed into 14 of them, but the point is you've got to get these systems nailed down. Now, what happens, Darren, if you say, I know I like marketing, but I don't want to talk about quality control? What happens? I like marketing. I don't want to talk about quality control. What happens?
Well, you can't just pick what you like and you have to do it all. In fact, you should become an expert at the things you don't like.
Powerful. Dr. Stella, what if you say, I'm really into quality control and numbers, but I don't like marketing? What happens?
You're going to lose customers. I remember when we started our product called Covilite, it was really doing well. But we started getting feedback from people, like they're like, well, you need to take this out, or you need to take that out, or this is, for people that have been doing, natural medicine for a long time, and we listened. You know what I'm saying? When, we had cyanocobalamin, and we took it out to methcobalamin. We have changed our sucralose to monk fruit and stevia because our customers gave us feedback. So it's very important. If not, you're just going to lose customers. And so you got to listen to the people and what they want. And within reason, because if you listen to everybody, within reason, you should listen to feedback and change what you can change to improve your business.
Now I'm going to give you guys a couple moves here, couple moves, then we'll wrap it up today, okay? Move number one, if you want everything, every book I've ever written, maybe you say I don't want any of your books ever, then okay. But if you do want them, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com/downloadable, so there's like an entire book just about search engine optimization, like just really step-by-step technical, wow. Then there's another book just about public speaking, okay? Or just about, there's different kind of niches or silos of information. They're all available, Sean. You can pull it up at thrivetimeshow.com/free. It's at thrivetimeshow.com/free-resources. thrivetimeshow.com/free-resources. One thing I would challenge you to do is if you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on testimonials, there's over 2,000 people I've had the honor and privilege to work with over a period of 20 years. And if you watch like 10 of them, you're going to go, this isn't a backhanded compliment about my clients. I'm just saying, you'll go, well, if they can do it, I can do it. Like if that person could do it, I mean, why can't I? What do they do that I... So it is repeatable. It is duplicatable. You can do it. That's thrivetimeshow.com/testimonials. Next is thrivetimeshow.com/downloadables. Downloadables. These are all of these documents, all the things we're talking about today. You can download them all. There's posters, pictures, print pieces. And I think sometimes it helps to just have access to all of this stuff in your own way. You can download it, organize it, print it, whatever you want to do, whatever that works for you, maybe not. Now, if you go to rumble.com and you search for Thrivetime Show, that's where all of the podcasts are that are kind of geopolitical and business. So if you don't care about geopolitical things, I would advise you to not go to Rumble. If you do like geopolitical things, I would by the way, I met with the guy Saturday, who was the head of one of the biggest agencies in America. Who, all the stuff we talked about earlier today? He says, can we meet? I won't betray the conversation, but he said, could we meet? Because I watch your show, and I think we're headed in a really bad direction. And I go, yeah. This is a guy who ran one of the biggest organizations in America. Government, you talk about government, just picture the biggest organization. Think about some good guys, that's him. So my wife and I called my wife, we're going to go meet with the former head of whatever about these things. And my wife's like, okay, here we go. And he had no idea about any of these things because he's so siloed in government bureaucrats and lunches and luncheons and dinners and galas that the only way he knew this is because he listens on the airplanes back to Tulsa. And he was like, I watched those little clips. He's like, no offense, the ones where you don't say anything, those are the ones. I'm like, okay, that's it. Okay, so that's a bit. Those are tools for you. Those are all tools. Okay. Next thing I want to share with you is appreciation and gratitude. And so we're going to pull this up. This is my business dad. I'm sharing this with you. My business dad hasn't seen this yet. If you click play there. My business dad, that's Dr. Zellner. When my dad died of Lou Gehrig's disease, Dr. Zellner called me and he said, Clay, I'm coming to the office, which is very rare. So he shows up at the office. We're in an office about the size of this room, open office. I'm at the time, I guess I would be, 36-ish? And he says, hey, this is when my dad's dying of Lou Gehrig's. Has anybody here lost somebody to Lou Gehrig's? It's the worst. And so he says, I come out of my staff meeting, and there he is. And he, to me, he is very important in my life. And I go, what are you doing here? And he's like, I told you I was coming by. And he's like, come over here. So we walk behind this kind of wall, and he says, are you doing okay? And I go, yeah. And he's, no, don't give me that BS. Are you okay? I go, tears, just waterworks. No, I'm not doing anything that approaches okay. And Dr. Z said, well, because my dad at this point can't talk. The machines breathe for him. He can't move. He's alive, but kinda. And my dad, by the way, he promised me he wouldn't die until my radio show went live on AM radio opposite Rush Limbaugh, which was September 5th. And he didn't die until the day it went live. It's the craziest thing ever. So my dad's in sort of a vegetative sense. We can see his eyes, but he's kind of vegetative. He's on medication and stuff. And Z goes, do you need a dad? And I'm going, like, just cut yes. And he's like, all right, well, I'm sorry I'm not more impressive, but I didn't get dressed up for nothing. I remember him saying that. I didn't get dressed up for nothing. And he's wearing shorts, and he's a multimillionaire, eccentric guy dressed up like a soccer player during the middle of the day. And he's like, well, if you ever need something, I'm your guy. And for the last 9 years, he has been like my dad. And when Rolling Stone did their series of hit pieces about me, they were trying to figure out what is motivating this crazy guy in Tulsa to spread these conspiracy theories. And they found that my mentor is Dr. Zellner. And Phil, as you know, they started following Sean Foyt, and they're like, what is causing this long-haired praise and worship guy to run around singing during the lockdowns? And somehow they found out that Sean Foyt's mentor is also Dr. Zellner. So he has 2 mentees, myself and Sean Foyt, and that's it. And he's the praise and worship guy, and I'm the reawaken guy, and Rolling Stone is like, at the center of the QAnon conspiracy, there is a Dr. Zellner who's leading the, And so what I do every year for Dr. Zellner, I encourage you to do this. I encourage you, my final thing I'm going to give you, write down the people that have made an impact on your life and express over-the-top gratitude. It will change your life when you have over-the-top. So I'm telling you what I got Z for Christmas this year. He doesn't know. He probably isn't watching this. Maybe he is. We'll see. But every year I try to put together a song for him. And it's usually something ridiculous that has a little, I call it funny sap. It's kind of sappy funny, where it's kind of sappy, but it's still funny. And then I buy him Lagavulin, which is not a church approved. Phil does not endorse this, but it's a very intense whiskey. You get drunk just looking at the bottle. You just, it's intense. It's grown from peat moss in Scotland. He loves it. So I get him the Lagavulin. And I usually will give him a picture, and then in the frame, I'll put $100 bills around the border, because it's priceless, but you can't but it's helped me a lot. And you need to do that. You've had a teacher in your life this year who's really changed your life. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You got a teacher who made a big impact, and you haven't talked to him in 20 consecutive years? I was guilty of it too. Call him. Like, go nuts for Christmas. Call the teacher, call the grandma, call whoever it was that made the impact, and go ridiculously over the top with gratitude. And it will forever change the way that you do life. I promise you. If you do it for you, it's the best Christmas ever. So I always show up at his house with my ridiculous variety of gifts. And this is the song. I just finished putting it out a couple days ago. I'll play it for you. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But this is Dr. Z's Christmas song that he doesn't know about yet. But here we go. Oh, Radical Jihadist. There we go. What a great song. Radical Jihadist. One more commercial.
It takes real investment to help keep this country running.
I'm sure it does. Okay, here we go.
Go
on the flow. Working it.
This song goes out to all the Dr. Robert Zellners out there. Everybody. All the Bobby Zellners. All the Rob Zellners. All the Bob Zellners.
If you do not get it done, there is nobody else.
Nobody.
There's no sick days for you, cause you can't replace yourself.
You're replaceable.
Dayquil is the key to your health.
It's the key.
It masks the symptoms, so all is well.
All is well.
Cause nothing matters until something sells.
Unless people buy things, your business is going to hell.
Cause you're the boss, and it's your profit and loss. Overwhelmed, Spanish-speaking owners can't say no mas. The pig at the breakfast, that's what you are. Not the chicken who just gave an egg.
You gave your life for this part.
You're Dr. Z, and I'm glad that you're my business dad. When I get screwed, I call you up, then I'm slightly less mad. I owe you Lagavulin this and every coming Christmas. Dr. Z, it's a world to me that you're my business dad. You get to work, something's broke, some people are not on time.
doctors everywhere, every day before 9. You're an optometrist, you see the world clearly, something ain't right. We have to hire employees and we can't settle for high. For Dr. Z, it's got to be short time every time. And that no-brainer can't change, it's got to be 99. 918-461-2020's in my mind. It's ecstasy when Z's next to me, heterosexually. You're Dr. Z, and I'm glad that you're my business dad. When I get screwed, I call you up, then I'm slightly less mad. I owe you Lagavulin and this and every coming Christmas. Dr. Z, it's the world to me that you're my business dad. He likes Aruba, he likes to scuba. When he's not around, I call him the Big Kahuna. He's so attractive, he's even loved by the dudes. He doesn't like Adam Sandler, so here's the Sabadoo. Sabadoo.
All right, so homework for you. If I get hit by a bus and I don't see you tomorrow, try to express massive gratitude for those who've impacted your life. I promise it'll change the way you perceive the world. And at the peak of our lawsuit on the Reawaken tour, when things were horrible, I'd be out in the hallway calling people that have impacted me positively, going, hey, thank you so much for helping me. Because it's actually good for you to thank people when you're having a hard time. Does that make sense? Turn your bitterness into betterness. We're going to leave here about 9 minutes early so you don't have to complain that it went over. And then we're going to see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. We're going to see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Thank you guys for being here day one. Dr. Stella will be here. Jen will be here with Beloved Cheesecakes. Darren will be here. And tomorrow they'll be here. You can meet them, shake their hands. They're great people. Again, thank you so much for being here. And let's give Pastor Phil and Tammy Hotzenpiller a round of applause for putting on this wonderful event. Thank you, Pastor Phil and Tammy. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And Sean, play some music, dude.
There is a price tag to everything, even your own success.
No drifting, no drifting. Being laced up or simping. Don't give yourself permission to backslide to the beginning. This is the day we ain't promised tomorrow. Gotta act now like James D. Cristoforo. Be the type of leader that people wanna follow. Don't be soft like a big marshmallow. Or beat a rock like you're in Colorado. Be acting non-verbal. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. That's where you wanna be. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah, yeah. If you've got the big goals to achieve, you got to achieve it. For entrepreneurs, it's a paradise. For employees, it's a change paradigm. For the poor and ignored, it's a change mind. For the explorers, it's a major find. For Tim Tebow, it's goals aligned. For the average with the Trump, it's a mastermind. For Robert Kiyosaki, it's game time. For the first time attendees, it's oh my. For the Oklahomies, it's a sweet home of mine. For the real business people, it's so nice. For the people going places, it's a green light. For you and your crew, it's a change vibe. For this rendezvous, you can name your prize. For the VIP, ticks 105 times. For me, it's what I do, it's my vibe. Because the Thrivetime Nation is my tribe. My tribe. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah, yeah. If you've got the big goals to achieve, yeah, you got to achieve it. It's time to thrive, what a time to be alive. Breath in my lungs, thank you, Jesus Christ. You got a chance to cause change upon the land. So beat that clock by your diligence. It's up to you, do you prefer to keep making the wrong turns, or to turn it all around after you take the time to learn? Without vision, the people perish. Without wisdom, you get embarrassed. Or be humble, grow 1,000-fold. Reap a harvest and share it. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. If you come with business problems, you leave with plans. At the Thrivetime Show, we make wealth expand. And we're focused on implementation. We teach marketing and improving your brand. How to build the systems and finance. We teach how to hire people and manage them. How to bring your dreams into reality. Since 05, I've been doing it, cause that's my jam. Helping goal pursuers do it, putting cash in their hands. Now that Eric Trump has joined us, he has joined the band. Kiyosaki's coming tall cause he's in the rhythm. But can he kick it? Yeah, yes Yes, he can.
Yes, he
Kiyosaki's
can.
in the dojo of self-discipline. So get your tickets now at Thrivetime Show end. I'd buy them now while they're still on hand. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah, yeah. If you got the big goals to achieve, yeah, you got to achieve it. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Yeah. Business growth is what you wanna see. What you wanna see. Thrivetime Show, that's where you wanna be. Where you wanna be, yeah, yeah. If you got the big goals to achieve, yeah, you got to achieve it.